Hey guys, Tryhard Casual here today with another episode of Quick Konar Slayer, the impromptu guide series where I very quickly go over any random Slayer task I might get and basically show you how I would do it. You know, feel free to make any adjustments you see fit, but I'll basically be going over all the information here that you're going to need to know to start this task for yourself. So for a task, we actually have to kill Lizardmen in the settlement today. I've actually never done this, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, because I think you can do Shamans there, but I'm not positive. So let me get back to you on that after I figure this out. Okay, so at this point I've actually already completed my task. You know, since I didn't know what I was doing, I wanted to go through the whole thing and really figure out what was going on before I told you guys how to do it for yourself. So it turns out you can kill Shamans for this task over in the Lizardman settlement. So that's what we're going to do actually, instead of killing the regular Lizardmen that just kind of wander around on the surface. I will recommend if you are going for the Lizardmen on the surface, then definitely just camp prayer and use some melee attacks. That's probably the best way to go. You know, get your best strength gear, but also use some proselyte or monk's robes on the two middle slots here. But since we are going for the Shamans, this is what gear we're going to be taking. Whenever you do Shamans, you always need the Shazen armor. You have those in the chest, the legs, the boots, the gloves, and the helmet. But if you have the Kebos Hard Diary completed, then you can use the Slayer helm instead of the Shazen armor. Besides that, it's really just bring a blowpipe. I'd recommend adamant or better darts. I'd also recommend just bringing the best backpack and the best ring you can for ranging bonuses, along with the blessing just for a little bit more prayer. As for our inventory, the stamina potion will help us get there along with moving around inside the cave a little bit. We probably only need one. Got 2 ranging potions, keep those stats up. We will need an antidote because the Shamans can poison you. We have a handful of prayer potions here, a handful of sharks. I will say you actually don't need to bring any food at all if you're familiar with Shamans or if you think you're pretty confident in moving away from their attacks. The food is really just to cover up some accidental hits or if you're still learning how to do them properly. On top of that, we're going to be using a Draymond Staff to help us get there. We do have alchemical runes in the rune pouch, and we have our teleport out just in case. I would say getting to the Lizardman settlement is actually the most annoying part of this task. I will say the best way to get there is to have some sort of teleport that gets you to the top of the mountain here, and then you'll take the transport down all the way to the wall, which will then just let you run right into the settlement wherever you want to go. But we are aiming for this cave since we're doing Shamans. Other than that, you can use a Zarek Talisman Lookout Teleport and just run west. And there's also a fairy ring up north here so you can run down south and then to the west again. So no matter what way you're taking, it's going to be a little bit of a trek basically. And after you enter the cave, it's just a few rooms in here that all have Shamans in them. Okay, so here we are in the Lizardman caves. I guess it's time to start killing some Shamans. I just want to give a very quick rundown of how you actually kill Shamans when you're down in the cave too. So basically what you want to do is just pray range and enter the room, sip your potions, get the antidote on. After that, you basically just want to stick to any tile that's next to the wall, because if you're not next to one, the shaman will jump up into the air and land on where you're standing and do a bunch of damage to you. But as long as you're next to a wall, they won't do the jump attack. Beyond that, there's actually only 2 things that can hurt you in the fight. If you get too close to the shaman and it melees you, and the shamans will randomly summon some purple minions every now and then that you just have to run away from, because if you're standing within like 2 tiles of them, they'll explode and do a little bit of damage. But like I said, just bring some sharks if you're learning it to heal you up, but if you're already experienced with it, then you don't need to bring food at all, because you can just avoid all the damage from the attacks. Well, unfortunately, we did not get a dragon hammer to drop, but let's see how much money we made without it. Okay, 930k, it's not too bad. It's pretty nice. And we got 2 extra plate legs from opening up the brimstone chest, so that's not too bad. And on top of that, we got a Zarek Talisman to drop and a Spirit Seed. So overall, I guess that was okay. It's actually kind of funny, I didn't want to do this task whenever I got it from the Slayer Master because I didn't know how to do Shamans, and I wasn't familiar with the Lizardmen settlement, so I didn't want to look into it, but I'm like, you know what, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna learn something new today and try it out. Honestly, I thought it was pretty engaging. We made almost a mil, so I thought it was a good choice. Made a good choice there. I would definitely say if you receive Lizardmen at the Lizardmen settlement, then go for the Shamans over just the regular ones roaming around the village because they just don't drop anything. It's not really worth it. And that about wraps things up here. If you have any questions about Slayer, or RuneScape in general, then feel free to ask me. I'm always down to answer some questions about RuneScape. But that's all. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.